Shalom, everybody, and welcome to Religion TV, where my spiritual ears stay. Hey, I'm your host, Spirituality. Welcome to episode 96, you all. We're going to get right into Nehemiah chapter 1 and 3. And if you enjoy the morning read, please subscribe to my channel so you can be a part of the notification gang and get more of these great Bible commentaries, okay? Episode 96, you all. And we're going to get right into it because I'm a little bit behind again. The last 2 weeks been moving and things, taking time to myself so I don't burn out. You know how that goes, right? So we do this because some people like to get up and read people to filth. And we like to get up and read people to life more abundantly, because we know Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And if you learn of his ways, you'll walk in his truth and then begin to live his life, right? That's the way, the truth, and the life. So with that being said, we know Christians have been deceived to live as Christians, even though they are the people of the Bible, the Hebrew Israelites, okay? So with that being said, if you're kind of confused or just catching on to the morning read, please go back to March 2nd, 2019. I have a playlist with 95 episodes in it, okay? Well, it will be in it as of today. I'm going to set up my desktop and be able to go, into my dashboard and put them all into the morning read. Now, the book of Nehemiah. This book right here basically says Nehemiah, contemporary of Ezra and cupbearer to the king of Persian's palace, leads the third and last return to Jerusalem after the Babylonian exile. His concern for the welfare of Jerusalem and its inhabitants prompts him to take bold action. Granted permission to return to his homeland, Nehemiah challenges his countrymen to arise and rebuild the shattered wall of Jerusalem. In spite of opposition from without and abuse from within, the task is completed and it's only 52 days. So that's kind of a miracle to rebuild the wall in 52 days. And I'm going to tell you one of my favorite verses when we get to it, okay, in the book of Nehemiah. So it goes on to say, a feast even the enemies of Israel must attribute to God's enabling, meaning that can only happen by the grace of God. Then it goes on, by contrast, the task of reviving and reforming the people of God within the rebuilt walls demands years of Nehemiah's godly life and leadership. See, people, it's not just you wake up one day and want to do the will of God. I mean, people have been at this thing for years. And all it's going to take is just one person to hear or see what you're doing in the will of God, and you'll get noticed, people. Just stick with it, all right? So the Hebrew for Nehemiah is Nehemiah, which means comfort of Yahweh. Comfort of who? Jesus? No. Comfort of Yahweh, the God of this Bible, the Most High God of this Bible, okay? The book is named after its chief character, whose name appears in the opening verse. Depharaim, 2nd Ezra. It says the combined book of Ezra and Nehemiah is given the Greek title Esdras Depharaim, 2nd Esdras, in the Septuagint. It goes on to say a 3rd century BC Greek language translation of a Hebrew Old Testament. Again, I'm reading it right to you, people, and it's hard for you to believe that the Greeks translated this Bible out. Why do you want to stay a slave to that kind of mentality, a slave to that lie? It's a bold-faced lie. So then it goes on to say the Latin title of the first Nehemiah is Libre Secundus Ezra, second book of Ezra. Ezra was the first. At this point, it is considered a separate book from Ezra and is later called Libre Nehemiah, Book of Nehemiah, through the Latino translation. So guys, let's get right into it. Verse 1, chapter 1 of the book of Nehemiah. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. And it came to pass in the month of Chrislan, in the 12th year, was I in Shushan the palace. He's saying he was in the palace, but he was in the king's palace. He was a cupbearer for the king of Persia. So it goes on to say, too, that Hanani, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. 3. And they laid unto me, and they said unto me, the remnant that are left in the captivity there in the province are a great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. 4. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept, and mourned certain days, and fasted, and prayed before the God of heaven. 5. And said, I beseech thee, O Lord God of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him, and observe his commandments. 6. Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel thy servants, and confess thy sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee, both I and my father's house have sinned. 7. And we're about 7 minutes and 18 seconds into the read. We have dealt corruptly against thee, and have not kept thy commandments, nor thy statutes, nor thy judgments, which thou commanded thy servant Moses. Now Moses left off in the book of Deuteronomy. He wrote the first 5 books, which is the Torah. And then the New Testament comes along and say, do away with what God told Moses for the children of Israel. And that's wrong, people. That is extremely wrong. You have to do what Moses commanded. You have to keep the laws, the statutes, the ordinance, and the judgments of God. Because people walk in sin, iniquity, transgressions, and they break the laws of God. So 8 goes on to say, remember, I beseech thee, the word that commandest thou thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. We're scattered people because we transgressed against God. So scattered, some people are still living as Christians to this day, and don't realize that this good book is about them and for them. Alright, so we have to go over to verse 11, and we're on 9. But if ye return unto me, and keep my commandments, and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heavens, yet I will gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there. 10. Now these, and any servants of thy people, whom thou hast redeemed by the great power, and by thy strong hands. 11. The last verse of chapter 1. O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name and prosper. See, when you fear God, it's a certain kind of prosper that happens to you, and you don't even know it. People are out here trying to make themselves prosper, make themselves be great, and God truly has nothing to do with that, people. To an extent, I pray thee, thy servant, this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man, for I was the king's cupbearer. So he's saying, I was. Did he leave? We have to read 20 verses in chapter 2. Let's go. Chapter 2, verse 1. You're watching Religion Link TV. I'm your host, Spirituality, and my spiritual ears stay. So, second chapter, verse 1. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan. Now, in the 20th year. So you hear some different months being called. Not January through December. These are different months that had a name before the people of this world, mankind, got their hand on the good book, okay? So it goes on to say, of Artaxerxes, the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. 2. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thou countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid. See, sorrow of heart. A lot of people are sorrowful of heart. Their heart is sorrowful about a lot of things, and they're not addressing the sorrow, and that's what keeps them sore afraid. 3, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not the countenance be sad, when the city, that place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? 4. Then the king said unto me, But what dost thou make request? So I prayed to God of heaven. 5. And I said unto the king, If it please the king, and if the servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. 6. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, For how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I sent him a time. Alright, now the king is giving him permission. Go ahead, rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. I don't care about how long is it going to take you, because I need you to pour my wine. You are a cupbearer of the king, and don't you forget that. Don't forget where you come from. When you go out there and build that wall and do it in 52 days, Nehemiah, and get all that fame and recognition because God enabled you to do it, don't you forget where you came from. Just like so many of you, when God allowed you to do something, you forget where you come from. And this king is trying to tell him, don't you forget me. I need to know where you're going to be, and I need to know when you're going to return. Okay, so it goes on to say in verse 7, Moreover I said unto the king, If it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. Like, let me send letters ahead, because when I go out on my journey, I don't want no problem from other people. Send these letters out that I'm going to be making my journey so it can go smooth, right? 8. And a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace which appertain to the house. Okay. So he wants beams. He's sending out letters. Look, I'm going to need wood from you. I'm going to need rock from you. I'm going to need stone and hew from you. I'm going to need gold, this, that, and the third from you. So he's putting in his request. And for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into. And the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me. God's hand is upon us, people. Let's go on to verse 9. Then I came to the governors beyond the rivers and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the armies and horsemen with me. Verse 10, and we have to go to verse 20. When Sabhulat, the Hononite, and Tobiah, the servant, the Amorite, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that this was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel. Why does it grieve y'all when somebody come before the masses on behalf of God's people, the children of Israel? Sorry, Christians. I know you want it to be on behalf of you, but it is on behalf of you. You are the children of Israel. You're just brainwashed and conditioned to believe everything this Bible says that's pertaining to slavery, and you rock with it, you live with it, you praise Jesus instead of the Most High God. So there's a problem. And whenever someone comes to set the people back on course, you have a problem with that person or with the people of God trying to get our people back in position. Verse 11, so I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. Verse 12, and I arose in the night, and I saw, and I and some few men with me, neither told I any man what God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. Alright? That's the only beast I had with me. All I have is the word of God, you all. And if you can't accept that, I respect that. That's all I can say. If you can't accept, I respect. If you can't accept it, I respect it. You understand what I'm saying? And move on. That's all we can do, people. We can't hold anybody hostage with the word of God, because God is not a slave master. He gave you a free will, unlike some masters in this world today. So it goes on to say, 12, and I arose in the night, and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what God had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem. Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon. Verse 13. And I went out by night, by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, and to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which was broken down, and the gates thereof were consumed with fire. 14. Then I went on to the gate of the fountain, and to the king's pool, but there was no place for the beast that was under me to pass. 15. Then when I went up in the night by the wall, and returned back, and entered by the gate of the valley, and so returned. 16. And the rulers were not whither I went, and what I did, what I did, neither had I as yet told it to the Jews, to the youths, to us, to the Israelites, nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers, nor to the rest that I did work. 17. Then I said unto them, you see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof burned with fire. Come, let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Let us build up our walls again, people, so we no longer a reproach to some other races in the world. Let's just face it. 18. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me, as also the king's word that had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise and build. So they strengthened their hands, for this is good work. Strengthen your hands to good work, people. But when Sanballat the Horonite, and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and the Geshem the Arabian heard it, they laughed us to scorn, and despised us, and said, what is this thing that you do? Will you rebel against the king? See, and some of you laugh and scorn Religion Week TV. Like, what's she doing over there reading those Bible verses? Believe you me, people have watched these videos, y'all, and have reconsidered going back, watching all my playlists. Thank you to the people who comment and tell me that you are watching these morning reads. That is helping you get through your problems, your issues. I greatly appreciate that, because God says we're to edify one another, encourage one another, lift one another up in the spirit of the Most High God, comfort one another, exhort one another, right? So verse 20, the last verse of the Bible of this morning reads, second chapter. Then answered I and said unto them, the God of heaven will prosper us. Therefore his servants will arise and build. But ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Some people just don't have rights to Jerusalem. They fight their way to be, just say YouTube is Jerusalem, to be kings and queens of Jerusalem, and some people have no right. But because you're afraid to speak out against the enemy, it looks like they're winning. Same thing with the devil of the world, because you're afraid to back down these demons and speak to these spirits that are not godly, that infiltrate your camp, take over your substances, put you in slavery. You're afraid to speak to these things. Okay, so Religion Link TV is not. If you need me to speak up and give my personal opinion and commentary on the Bible and spirituality and the things of God, I'll greatly do it. As long as I do it to the glory of God, no matter what I do, as long as I do it unto the glory of God, God will honor that. So we're going to go ahead and get right into chapter 3, verse 1, and we have 32 verses to go. Then Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brethren, the priests, and they builded the sheep gate. They sanctified it, and set up the doors of it, even unto the tower of Meah, they sanctified it, unto the tower of Haniel, 2. And next unto him builded the men of Jericho, and next to him builded Zakar, the son of Imri. Now, I was going to say in the beginning, I believe he was building the wall of Jericho back up. Jericho is next to Jerusalem. It's all one and the same. And we're going to get to my favorite verse. I'll let you know. It's in chapter 8. So you have to keep reading. This is episode 96. And we'll get to chapter 8, okay? In another episode coming up shortly. So it goes on to say, 3. But the fish gate did the sons of Hesaniah build, and also laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors before the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. 4. And next to them repaired Meremoth, the son of Uriah, the son of Kaz, and next unto them repaired Mushalim, the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, and next unto them repaired Zadok, the son of Baanah. 5. And next unto them the Tekoites repaired, but their nobles put not their necks to the work of their Lord. It's something about when you do work out here, but you don't get God's permission, or you don't do it unto the Lord. There's other gods out here that you're doing things for and with and to. You understand what I'm saying? 6. Moreover, the old gate repaired Joadiah, the son of Paseah, and Mushalim, the son of Besadiah. They laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. 7. And next unto the repaired Malatiah, the Gibeonite, and Dedan, the Marathite, and the men of Gibeah, and the men of Mizpah, unto the throne of the governor of this side of the river. 8. Next unto him repaired Uziel, the son of Habiah, of the goldsmiths. Next unto him also repaired Hananiah, the son of the one of the apothecaries, that's translated perfumers, and they fortified Jerusalem unto the broad wall. Verse 9. And next unto them repaired Raphael, the son of Hur, the ruler of the half part of Jerusalem. 10. And next unto them repaired Jediah, the son of Horamath, even over against his house. And next unto him repaired Habtush, the son of Hashabiah, Hashaniah. 11. Melchijah, the son of Haram, and Hashub, the son of Pathamoab, repaired the other piece in the tower of the furnaces. In verse 12. And next unto him repaired Shallum, the son of Helonish, the ruler of half part in Jerusalem, he and his daughters. So the daughters are getting involved now. 13. The valley gate repaired Hanun, and the inhabitants of Zanoah, they built it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and 1,000 cubits on the wall unto a dung gate. 14. And the dung gate, D-U-N-G, the poop gate repaired Melchiah, the son of Rechab, the ruler of part of Beth-Haccherem. He built it, and set up the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. 15. But the gate of the fountain repaired Shallum, the son of Kohosab, the ruler of part of Mizpah. He built it, and covered it, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof, and all the walls of the pools of Siloah by the king's garden, and unto the stairs that go down from the city of David. So now we're on verse 16 and have to go to 32. After he repaired Nehemiah, the son of Azbuk, the ruler of half part of Bezur, unto the place over against the sepulchres of David, and to the pool that was made, and unto the house of the mighty. 17. After him repaired the Levites Rehum, the son of Bani. Next unto him repaired Hashabiah, the ruler of half part of Kilai, and his part. Verse 18. It says, After him repaired their brethren Bave, the son of Hemadad, the ruler of the half part of Kilai. 19. And next to him repaired Ezer, the son of Jeshua, the ruler of Mizpah, another piece over against the going up to the armory of the turning of the wall. Verse 20. After him Barak, the son of Zabai, earnestly repaired another piece from the turning of the wall into the door and of the house of Elishib, the high priest, right? Verse 21 goes on to say, And he repaired Merimoth, the son of Uriah, the son of Kaz, another piece from the door of the house of Elishib, even to the end of the house of Eliashib. Okay, 22. And after him repaired the priests, the men of the plain. 23. After him repaired Benjamin and Hashub over against their house. After him repaired Azariah, the son of Maaseiah, the son of Anariah, by his house. 24. After him repaired Benui, the son of Henadad, another piece from the house of Azariah unto the turning of the wall, even unto the corner. 25. Paalam, the son of Uzai, over against the turning of the wall, and the tower which lieth out from the king's house, high house, that was in the court of the prison. They had prison back there, you all. So it goes on to say, after him Pedadiah, the son of Parash. 26. Moreover, the Nethinims dwelt in Ophel unto the place over against the water gate toward the east, in the tower that lieth out. Verse 27. After them the Tekoites repaired another piece over against the great tower that lieth out, even unto the wall of Ophel. 28. From above the horse gate repaired the priests, every one over against his house. 29. After them repaired Zadok, the son of Emir, over against his house. After him repaired also Shemaiah, the son of Sekaniah, the keeper of the east gate. Verse 30. After him repaired Hananiah, the son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, another piece. After him repaired Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, over against his chamber. 31. After him repaired Melchiah, the goldsmith's son, unto the place of the Nethinims and of the merchants, over against the gate Mifked, and to the going up to the corner. In the last verse of this read, 32, and between the going up of the corner unto the sheep gate repaired the goldsmiths and the merchants. Guys, 30 minutes in, you're watching Religion Week TV. Thank you so much for listening. I am your host, Spirituality, and my spiritual ears stay. Thank you so much. I will see you in episode 97, either upload, premiere, and or live. Stay tuned, guys, and have a great day. Remember, let the word of God be a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your pathway. Psalms 119, 105. Wherever you walk, you'll begin to step right, and wherever you go, you'll begin to shine his light. I'm your host, Spirituality, and my spiritual ears stay. Guys, moving on to episode 97. Thank you.